Every woman carries within her a heart that craves to be seen, to be felt, to be loved, not just with words, but with depth. Most men, they love with conditions, they love with convenience. But the truth is, when you love her so deeply, so purely, so powerfully that her soul feels safe in your presence, she will never forget you. This speech is not about tricks. It is not about lines. It is about the kind of love that penetrates her spirit, the kind of love that makes her heart whisper, this man, he is the one. Today, I will tell you how to love her so deeply, she will never, ever forget you. When a woman chooses to be with you, she is not choosing you for the words you say. She is not holding on to your promises of tomorrow. She is not counting the castles you paint in the air about what you will do one day, where you will take her one day, or how you will change one day. She is only looking for how you make her feel in this very moment. Your presence is worth more to her than every single promise you could ever make. Because promises are easy, words are cheap, but your presence requires something real. It requires your energy, your focus, your soul, and that is what she craves more than anything else. Think about it. How many people in her life have said beautiful words to her? How many have promised her forever, only to disappear when it mattered most? She has heard it all before. She has been told, "I'll never leave you," by people who left. She has been told, "I'll always be there," by people who were never really there when she needed them. That is why she no longer listens to words with her ears. She listens with her heart. She listens with her experience. And the only language her heart can trust now is presence. Presence means you are not just sitting beside her while your mind is somewhere else. Presence means when she speaks, you are not simply waiting for your turn to talk, but you are entering her world. You are walking through her feelings. You are trying to feel what she feels. Presence means your eyes are not wandering to your phone every few seconds, because your entire attention is hers. Presence means you value her enough to pause the noise of the world and tune into her frequency. That is when she feels safe. That is when she feels loved. And that is when she feels she can surrender her heart to you. You may think you need to achieve something great, to buy her expensive gifts, or to promise her a future of endless dreams to keep her love alive. But the truth is, if you can give her your presence, you have already given her the greatest gift, because presence is proof. Presence shows her that she matters to you right now, not only in some distant future that may never arrive. When you are present, you are saying, "You are important enough for me to stop the world and just be here with you." That kind of love stays forever. And let me tell you, the world is full of distractions. Most men are only half alive in their relationships. Their bodies are there, but their minds are occupied with work, with worries, with desires, with everything else except her. She feels this. She feels when you are there in body, but absent in spirit. She feels when your yes means nothing because your attention is elsewhere. A woman's heart can sense presence like a radar. She knows when you are truly with her and when you are pretending. You cannot fake presence. Either you are there or you are not. When you master presence, you unlock a part of her that no promises could ever touch. You open her trust, you open her softness, you open her deepest feminine energy because she feels safe enough to let it flow. Presence is the soil where love grows, where intimacy deepens, where loyalty is born. Without presence, even the strongest promises will collapse like sandcastles against the tide. With presence, even the simplest moments become unforgettable. A shared silence, a gentle look, a touch that says, "I see you, I feel you, I am here." That is what she will carry in her heart for years to come. Remember, this love is not lived in the future. Love is not lived in promises. Love is lived in the now. And if you want her to never forget you, then love her in the now so deeply that the memory of your presence becomes eternal. One day she may not remember the exact words you said. She may not recall every promise you made. But she will never forget how fully you were there when she needed you. She will never forget how your attention wrapped around her like warmth in the cold. She will never forget the security that came from knowing she had your presence, not just your words. A man who promises without presence is soon forgotten. A man who is present without promises is forever remembered. That is the truth. That is the secret. That is how you love her so deeply she will never forget you. There is a kind of strength that most men are taught to believe in, the strength of being unshaken, unbroken, untouchable, the strength of keeping everything inside, never showing weakness, never shedding a tear, never revealing the cracks in the armor. But the truth is, that kind of strength may make you look powerful on the outside, yet it builds walls so high that no one can ever reach the real you on the inside. And love, true love, cannot survive behind those walls. A woman does not fall in love with the mask you wear. She does not connect with the image you create to look perfect, untouchable, or in control. She connects with the parts of you that are real, the parts that are raw, the parts that sometimes hurt. She connects with your honesty, not your performance. Vulnerability is what gives her access to your soul. And when you allow her into that space, when you trust her with your truth, you build intimacy at a level that no act of strength could ever create. Think about this carefully. When you tell her only what you think she wants to hear, When you only show her your victories and hide your fears, you are not giving her you. You are giving her an edited version of yourself, a highlight reel. But she doesn't want your highlight reel. She wants your truth. She wants to know your fears, your doubts, your mistakes, your regrets, because only then does she feel that she is not alone in her own imperfections. When you show her the courage to be vulnerable, you give her permission to be vulnerable too. And in that exchange, real intimacy is born. Most men believe that vulnerability will make a woman lose respect for them. They think if they show pain, if they show tears, if they admit weakness, she will see them as less of a man. But the opposite is true. When you stand naked with your truth, when you expose the parts of yourself that are fragile, that is when she sees your deepest strength. Because any man can act strong. Any man can hide behind a mask, but it takes a rare kind of courage to be open. It takes a rare kind of power to say, this is who I really am, not perfect, not unbreakable, but real. That is what makes her respect you, love you, and trust you. Do you know why? Because she can finally see you, not the image, not the mask, you, the man behind the armor. And once she sees you, she can love you for who you truly are, not for the role you play. That is intimacy. Intimacy is not built in grand gestures or expensive gifts. Intimacy is built in those quiet moments where you share your fears, your dreams, your past, your wounds. It is built when you let her know the stories you don't tell anyone else. It is built when you allow her to witness your humanity. And let me tell you, vulnerability does not make you weak in her eyes. It makes you unforgettable. Because she will never forget the night you opened up about your childhood pain. She will never forget the moment you admitted your deepest fear about losing someone you love. She will never forget the way you trusted her with your scars. That memory will live inside her forever because she knows you did not give that part of yourself to everyone. You gave it to her. And that is sacred. When a woman feels your vulnerability, she feels your soul. And when she feels your soul, she opens hers. She begins to share the parts of herself she has been hiding too. She begins to trust you with her own fears, her own shame, her own wounds, and that mutual opening creates a bond so deep that time cannot break it. That is what intimacy is. Two souls meeting without masks, without games, without pretending, just raw, unfiltered truth. The men who are remembered, the men who live in a woman's heart forever, are not the ones who are perfect. They are the ones who are real. They are the ones who dared to be vulnerable, who dared to expose the hidden parts of themselves, who dared to let her love them, not for their image, but for their truth. That kind of love becomes unforgettable. So understand this, you do not have to carry the weight, always being strong. You do not have to pretend you have it all together. You do not have to hide your wounds in order to be loved. In fact, it is your wounds, your honesty, your tears, your truths that will make her love you more deeply. Vulnerability is not the end of your power. It is the beginning of real connection. If you want to love her in a way she will never forget, give her your presence, yes, but also give her your vulnerability. Show her the man behind the mask. Show her the boy who still feels pain. Show her the dreamer who still fears failure. Let her see you, all of you, without the armor. And in that moment, when your soul touches hers without walls between you, you will create intimacy so profound that even if life changes, even if circumstances shift, even if distance separates you, she will never forget the man who was brave enough to be real with her. Most men hear what a woman says, very few actually listen, and even fewer listen to what she does not say. But the truth is, love is not found in the surface of her words. Love is found in the silence between them, in the tone, in the pauses, in the things she hides but still wants you to notice. If you want to love her so deeply that she will never forget you, you must learn to listen beyond her words. A woman often speaks in layers. Sometimes what she says is only a fraction of what she feels. She may tell you, I'm fine, when her heart is breaking. She may smile while her eyes are begging for comfort. She may laugh while her spirit aches for reassurance. If you only take her words literally, you will miss the deeper truth of her soul. But if you listen with your heart, you will hear everything she is too afraid to say. Listening beyond her words means tuning into her energy. It means paying attention not only to the sentences that leave her lips, but also to the emotion wrapped around them. It means noticing the shift in her tone, the hesitation in her voice, the way her breath quickens when she is nervous, the way she grows quiet when she feels unseen. These are not accidents, they are signals. They are her heart's language. And only a man who truly listens can decode them. Do you know why this matters? Because every woman has lived moments where she spoke but was not heard, where she cried but was ignored, where she hinted at her needs but no one cared enough to notice. So when she meets a man who listens beyond her words, she feels something she may have never felt before, understood. And understanding is more powerful than any gift, any declaration. When a woman feels understood, she feels safe to be her true self. Listening beyond her words is not about fixing her problems. It is not about rushing in with solutions every time she expresses pain. Sometimes she doesn't want you to solve. Sometimes she only wants you to hear, to be still, to give her space to unfold what's inside her without interruption. A man who can sit in her storm without trying to control it will become unforgettable to her, because in that moment, he becomes more than a partner. He becomes her safe space. It takes patience to listen in this way. It takes humility. It takes presence. You cannot half listen while scrolling on your phone, nodding at the right moments, pretending to care. She will feel that. A woman's intuition can detect disinterest instantly. But when you lean in, when you give her your full attention, when you notice what she does not say out loud, she feels valued, she feels seen, she feels that her inner world matters to you. That is a kind of intimacy that cannot be forgotten. And let me tell you this, sometimes her silence will speak louder than her words. The nights she grows quiet, the mornings she avoids eye contact, the days when her laughter does not reach her eyes, those moments are not empty. They are filled with meaning. They are her soul's whispers. If you love her deeply, you will not dismiss those silences. You will lean into them. You will ask gently, not demandingly. You will create a space where she feels safe enough to share. And if she doesn't want to speak yet, you will simply stay beside her, letting your presence say, I am here, whenever you are ready. When you listen beyond her words, you begin to hear her dreams too, the things she casually mentions but secretly hopes you remember. The little details she shares in passing about her childhood, her passions, her favorite songs, the places she longs to see. Most men forget. But if you remember, if you weave those details back into her life, she will know you are listening not just with your ears, but with your soul. And that is how you make her feel treasured. Understand this listening is not a skill. It is a gift of your time, your attention, your energy. And when you give that gift to a woman consistently, you are building a bond deeper than any surface level attraction. You are telling her without words, I value your soul enough to hear it. That gift will stay with her long after the sound of your voice fades. Many men love a woman's beauty. Many men chase her body. But the man she never forgets is the one who loved her mind, who honored her emotions, who paid attention to her silences, who listened beyond her words. Because beauty fades, passion shifts, but the memory of being truly understood, that lives forever. So if you want to love her in a way she will never forget, don't just hear what she says. Listen to what she hides. Listen to her eyes, her silence, her sighs, her laughter, her pauses. Listen to the spaces between her words, for in those spaces lies the truth of her heart. And when you can hear that truth, when you can hold it without judgment, you will create intimacy so deep that no distance, no time, no circumstance can erase it. Every woman carries storms inside her. Some are born from the past, wounds that never fully healed, disappointments that carved scars, betrayals that taught her not to trust so easily. Others are created in the present, daily pressures, fears about the future, the constant noise of a world that rarely gives her space to breathe. When she chooses you, she is not asking you to fight all her battles. She is not expecting you to solve everything. What she longs for, often silently, is for you to become the place where her soul can finally rest. Protecting her peace is one of the greatest ways you can love her. To protect her peace means you do not add to her storms. You do not become another source of chaos in a life that already has enough of it. It means you speak words that calm instead of words that cut. It means you bring clarity instead of confusion. It means your presence feels like shelter, not another battlefield. When she is with you, she should not feel like she has to fight harder, defend more, or guard herself from pain. She should feel like she can exhale, like she can let her walls down, like she is safe. You protect her peace by choosing your tone as much as your words. A man may not realize this, but the way he speaks can either heal or harm. If your voice always carries anger, if your words always carry criticism, if your silence always carries distance, she will never feel at peace with you. But if your voice carries gentleness even in conflict, if your words carry reassurance even in disagreement, if your silence carries presence instead of absence, she will begin to associate you with calm, with steadiness, with safety. That is unforgettable. Protecting her peace also means respecting her boundaries. Every woman has limits, places she does not want to go, topics that reopen wounds, actions that make her feel unsafe. When you honor those limits instead of testing them, when you show her that her comfort matters more to you than your ego, she begins to trust that her spirit can rest in your hands. Many men cross boundaries because they see them as obstacles. A wise man understands that boundaries are invitations. They are ways of saying, If you honor this, you will have all of me. Respect brings peace. Disrespect destroys it. A woman will never forget the man who makes her feel protected, not just physically, but emotionally. The world already criticizes her, already questions her worth, already tells her she is not enough. If you join that chorus, she will eventually grow weary and close herself off. But if you become the one voice that tells her she is more than enough, if you become the one person who reminds her of her strength, when she forgets it, you will protect her from the weight of her own doubts. That is how you become her sanctuary. Do you know what destroys a woman's peace most quickly? Inconsistency. The man who says one thing today and does another tomorrow. The man who pulls her close one day and pushes her away the next. The man who makes her feel secure and then makes her question everything she believed. That roller coaster will drain her spirit. If you want to protect her peace, be consistent. Let your actions match your words. Let your love be steady, not conditional. Let her know she can count on you not only when it is convenient, but when it is difficult. Peace grows when trust is stable. Protecting her peace also means protecting her from unnecessary pain caused by dishonesty. Lies are knives to a woman's heart. Even small ones chip away at the foundation of safety. When you hide, when you deceive, when you betray, you shatter the peace she built with you. But when you are honest, even about difficult truths, you create a kind of peace that comes from knowing she never has to doubt your word. Transparency is love. Clarity is love. Truth is love. Sometimes protecting her peace is as simple as noticing. Noticing when she is tired and giving her space. Noticing when she is overwhelmed and stepping in to lighten her load. Noticing when her spirit is restless and offering your presence without her having to ask. Love is not only about grand gestures. It is about the small acts of protection that tell her, I see you. I care about how you feel. I want you to be okay. Those moments become imprinted in her heart. And when you protect her peace, something powerful happens. She begins to associate your love with healing. She will think of you when she remembers the days her heart was heavy, but your presence made it lighter. She will think of you when she recalls the nights she wanted to give up, but your words gave her strength. She will think of you when she remembers the moments life felt too loud, but you became her quiet. That is how you become unforgettable. Not by being perfect, but by being her peace. At the end of the day, love is not about how loud you can be, how much you can show off, or how many promises you can make. Love is about how safe you make her feel in your presence. And when she feels that safety, when she feels that calm, when she feels that peace, you have already given her a gift no one else could. And she will never forget the man who became her refuge in a world that often felt like war. A woman's body can attract 1,000 eyes, but her soul is waiting for the one who can see deeper. Too many men stop at the surface. They admire her beauty. They desire her curves. They chase her physically without ever realizing that what truly makes her unforgettable is not the body she wears. It is the soul she carries. If you want to love her in a way that she will never forget, you must learn to love her soul, not just her body. A body is temporary. Beauty changes with time. What you find flawless today will shift with age, with seasons, with life itself. If your love is built only on what you can touch, it will eventually fade. But her soul, the way she thinks, the way she dreams, the way she feels, the way she believes, that is eternal. When you connect with that, when you choose that, when you love that, you create a bond that no years, no distance, no changes can erase. Loving her soul means noticing the little things that make her who she is. The way her eyes light up when she talks about something she loves, the way she gets lost in her thoughts, the way she cares for people without expecting anything in return, the way she laughs when she finally feels free. Loving her soul means you value her inner world more than her outer appearance. You don't just see her as a body to satisfy your desires. You see her as a universe to explore. Most women know when they are being loved for their body. They know when the attention they are getting is shallow, when the words spoken to them are only meant to flatter their looks, when the interest disappears the moment the physical is no longer convenient. That kind of love leaves them feeling empty, unseen, replaceable. But when a man comes along who looks beyond her skin, who looks into her eyes and sees her heart, who listens to her dreams and protects her peace, she feels a love that is rare. She feels valued not for what she can give, but for who she is. To love her soul means you care about what excites her, what scares her, what keeps her awake at night. It means you are interested in her passions, her struggles, her journey, not just the way she looks on the outside. It means you encourage her growth. You believe in her dreams. You support her becoming, even if none of it benefits you directly. That is the love that reaches deeper than lust. That is the love that heals wounds she thought would never close. Understand this, any man can touch her body, but very few can touch her soul. A soul is touched when she feels safe enough to share her secrets with you, when she trusts you with her vulnerabilities, when she knows that you love her even in her weakest moments. Her body might make you feel desire, but her soul will make you feel connection. And connection is what makes her stay. When you love her soul, you do not compare her to others. You do not reduce her to an object. You do not make her feel like she is competing for your attention. You let her know that she is enough. not because of how she looks today, but because of the person she is at her core. You remind her that even when the world pressures her to be flawless, she is already more than enough just as she is. That assurance is something no physical attention can replace. A woman will always remember the man who made her feel beautiful on the inside. She will remember the man who told her she was worthy, not for her shape, not for her face, not for what she could offer physically, but for her heart, her mind, her essence. She will remember the man who cherished her when she was tired, when she was messy, when she was not at her best. That kind of love cannot be erased, because it goes deeper than appearance. It touches her identity, her spirit, her being. And here is the truth: when you love her soul, her body will naturally feel more beautiful to you than anyone else's ever could. Because beauty is not in the perfection of features, it is in the depth of connection. The more you fall in love with who she is, the more her physical presence will radiate a beauty that others cannot see. That is the secret of soul love. It transforms the way you see everything about her. So if you want to love her in a way she will never forget, look beyond what everyone else sees. Look beyond her skin, beyond her body, beyond the temporary. Look into her essence, her truth, her light. Love her soul as if it is the rarest treasure you have ever been trusted with, because it is. And when you do, she will never forget you, not because you desired her, but because you valued her in a way most never will. In the beginning, love is easy. Words flow effortlessly, gestures feel natural, passion burns without effort. The start of a relationship always carries excitement, the thrill of discovery, the sweetness of newness. But what makes a woman never forget a man is not what happens at the start. It is what happens after the beginning fades. Anyone can be romantic in the first week. Anyone can be attentive in the first month. But the man who remains steady long after the fire of novelty has cooled, that is the man she never forgets, because consistency creates forever. Consistency is proof. It is proof that your love is not a performance, not a temporary act to win her heart, but a truth that lives inside you. It is proof that your promises were not just words, but commitments you continue to honor every single day. When you are consistent, you show her that she is not just a phase in your life, not just an option, not just a passing excitement. You show her that she is a priority. And every woman remembers the man who made her feel like a priority. Consistency is not about grand gestures repeated endlessly. It is about the small things done daily that show her she can rely on you. A good morning message, a gentle touch when she least expects it, remembering the details of her day. Keeping your word even when it costs you something, checking in not out of habit but out of care. These little things may look simple, but to her they are the language of love, because they tell her, I see you, I haven't forgotten you, I still choose you. The opposite of consistency is uncertainty, and uncertainty is what breaks a woman's spirit. A man who loves her one day and withdraws the next, who promises today and disappears tomorrow, who says she matters but then makes her question her worth. This kind of inconsistency creates doubt, anxiety, exhaustion. She can never rest in that love because she never knows where she stands. But when you are consistent, she can breathe, she can trust, she can feel safe. And safety is what allows her to give her heart fully. Consistency is also about emotional steadiness. Any man can be kind when things are easy. But what about when you are angry? What about when life is stressful? What about when she makes mistakes? A consistent man does not suddenly turn cruel when tested. He does not give love only when she pleases him. He does not vanish when circumstances get heavy. He remains who he said he would be, even in storms. That reliability is what makes her trust him, and trust is what makes love last. A woman never forgets the man whose actions matched his words, because she has probably known too many who said everything right but did nothing to back it up. Words without actions are noise. Actions without consistency are confusion. But consistent actions aligned with consistent words, that is clarity, that is devotion, that is love she can believe in. Think about it: passion can be intense but temporary. Attraction can be strong but fleeting. But consistency, showing up again and again with honesty, with love, with care, that builds a foundation so strong it cannot be erased. Even if years pass, even if life moves forward, she will remember you as the man who never made her question your love. That memory will live in her heart because consistency is rare. Consistency also means growth. It means you do not give her your best only in the beginning, then slowly fade into indifference. It means you keep choosing to grow with her, to invest in her, to keep the relationship alive instead of letting it wither. It means you don't get comfortable and stop trying once you think she is yours. Real consistency is not stagnation. It is dedication. It is the ongoing effort to keep love alive every day in small but powerful ways. Understand this: a woman will never forget how you made her feel over time. If you made her feel secure, seen, chosen, and cared for consistently, she will carry that forever. But if you made her feel confused, uncertain, and neglected, she will also carry that forever. The difference is, one memory will feel like a wound, the other will feel like a blessing. Which one she remembers you as depends entirely on your consistency. So if you want to love her in a way that she will never forget, do not focus only on the beginning. Focus on the everyday. Love her not just when it is easy, but when it is difficult. Show up not just when it is convenient, but when it is hard. Keep your word not just when it benefits you, but when it costs you. Let your love be steady. Let your actions be dependable. Let your presence be unwavering. That's the kind of love that lasts. Because in the end, passion may fade, beauty may change, circumstances may shift, but consistency creates forever. And the man who was consistent, who never made her doubt, who loved her not just in words, but in repeated action, that is the man she will never forget.